Laszlo.
And this is Key, and we're low key. So today we're going to talk about living in the past.
Yep.
And when you live in the past, that is so hard. Like for some people, not to live in the past. I know for a long time, I would pull from my past, and it would really make me depressed because 9 times out of 10, you pulling from it because it's easy. It's easy to do, and then you base how you move, you base how you feel about certain people. They just bring past thoughts to your head, and you live in that, and your past is your past for a reason.
Especially in past relationships too,
Yeah, in past relationships, and then you down yourself because of maybe you didn't make a good decision in certain situations, and then you base who you are now by your past, and that's not good because people in general are going to do that, but you know who you are, and there's a difference between thinking about your past and literally living in your past. And when you live in your past, that's where you are majority of the time. Everything is based off of what happened in the past, and 9 times out of 10 in relationships, that's toxic. It's really toxic,
Yep.
and it can literally drive people away from you.
Yep.
And you're not open mentally to any possibilities of anything because you're basing it off of, that person did that to me in my past, so I'm gonna treat them like this, or the next person, or it drives you into depression. It drives you into near insanity. And your past will become your present when you do that.
You're pulling it right to you because you're playing defense, especially in like intimate relationships, not only friendships but actual relationships. Like you go in playing defense based off experience. So you projecting your BS or whatever you think onto the next person. But it goes both ways. Like that person could be pulling from your past, not his own past.
Yeah.
Like he could be pulling from your past.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta watch out for both sides. I mean, the only positive thing really from pulling from the past is, giving advice. And me coming up, that was my force. That was where I pulled my energy from, was from the past, and how I'm not gonna be like that. I'm gonna show people, I'm gonna get out of the situation that I was put in. But pulling from that, I think it can get you to where you're going, but it's a dangerous source to try to pull the energy from, because not only can you pull drive from it, you can pull a lot of heartache and upset and anger, which will manifest and solidify, and you can project it onto your partner or those around you.
That's so true. I had thought about, whenever we were talking about this topic for today, I thought about whenever you pull from your past, you want to pull for a positive reason. You know what I'm saying? Because people can judge you based off of your past.
Yeah.
And you want to pull for positivity. Now, I have a serious issue when people that that you had, let's just say you had a situation with a person, and you guys didn't talk about the situation, and then a year later, 2 years later, that person comes to you and they talk to you like that never happened. I have a problem with that, because I feel like if we didn't part ways, or we didn't talk to each other after a certain situation, why not talk about it? Like, why not acknowledge it and then move forward? That's for your healing. And you got to realize, people, everybody is not going to think like you. Everybody's not going to think on the basis, I know we think on the basis of loyalty. Like, we think on the basis of being honest and open with each other. We think on the basis of, like, If we're gonna pull something, we're gonna pull it and we're gonna discuss it.
That's
But
real.
we're not gonna overlook it, because I think that's total disrespect. And when a person does that, they could care less, because their motives is driven towards them, off of them. You know, their intentions. And I just have that was just burning in my spirit. You know, when you pull from the past, like, you want to pull for a positive reason. You know, you want to say, hey, I did go through this, and yes, that did happen, but that's not who I am. So I'm a different person today, and that's who I am today, and I sit in that, you know? I sit in
The laws
that.
of the universe is, like, it's so immense. Like, you can't act like you know something from point to point, because we don't. So we telling you that pulling from the past can be a negative thing. I mean, even if you pulling from it for the energy to do positive, but also you can't really neglect the past, because as humans, we are people of pattern. And if an individual is showing you a pattern of nefarious action or malicious intent, you can't but help but to put your eye on it. You gotta pull their file, you know? So you gotta know what you're pulling for.
Exactly.
If somebody, cause we have situations like major stuff.
Major.
People use our goodness, you know, they do harm against us in the worst way, and then come back like it never happened, you know, without even acknowledging, you know. So instead of pushing harm onto them people, you just gotta know who to separate yourself from, you know. And we don't even talk about individual, like that don't even come up, you know, in conversation, because like when you focus and you know where you're going, like we not excuse makers.
Exactly. And a lot of people pull from their past because they want to make an excuse as to why.
Most people, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to look at it like this. What people do to you is their karma. It's their karma. And what you do is your karma.
Yeah.
So you don't worry about what they do, because it's always going to come back around. And I promise you, my husband told me this plenty of times. Oh, Lord, it's going to come back full circle. Watch. It's going to come back. And it did. Every single time it did. You know? And you don't want to live in your past. You want to have thoughts, but positive thoughts, of course. You know, like you know you had a situation and you want to pull the positive from it. You don't want to just sit in, oh, that wasn't a good decision, that wasn't this, because people going to do that to you regardless.
Yeah.
They're going to look at you based off your past, but you know who you are. Exactly. And I had to learn that. I know who I am, you know? I know who I am.
You got to take action. Like, if you sit in it, your mind gonna go to what it has downloaded up to this point, like, and it's gonna go to your past.
Cause it's easy.
Cause it's right there.
Comfort. It's comfortable.
You know. That's exactly what it is.
It's comfortable.
Yep. Most people, and that's why we saying don't pull from it. You know, because most people will use it as their excuse. Especially people who had like early success. Say like in high school or middle school, or just getting out of high school. Like you got a lot of professional athletes, a lot of professional singers and stuff. Young, had a hit song, and they fell off, and they become dilapidated excuse makers. You know, because they pulling from the past. For real.
Yeah. That's exactly true. So you guys don't
So what's something they could do though, baby? Like, we gave them the diagnosis. Now what medication can you give them? Because I know most people do this. You know, either to judge people, either to put their insecurities onto somebody else, either a small percentage they use it for energy, but they pulling up a bunch of other crap right along with it. So what remedy would you give them?
Mind your business. Focus on you and where you're going. Because if you focus on you, you don't have time to focus on nobody else. You focus on your present, your goals, and everything else. Staying consistent, pulling from a positive place, being positive, having that energy around you. And affirmations is a good thing. I know we believe in that. As you guys can see, this is our affirmation room.
Right.
Like, this is what we do. We've been doing this for a very long time,
Right.
you know? So whenever you need something, a little push, or, you know, you're not having a good day, or, you know, you just want to feel better, you look back at your affirmations and you get it going. I write at least 10 things every day that I'm grateful for. Because gratitude, like, that'll put you in a whole nother place. You know,
Facts.
It'll put you in your mind, and you're like, oh my goodness, like, I have so much to be thankful for. And regardless if you don't believe that, you just take a moment, stop, and think about everything that you could be grateful for in that moment, and it'll change your whole perspective, because your past is not your past if you're bringing it into your present.
That's real. Now we could talk about this for hours and hours, but you know, we gotta break this up like into pieces so you're able to digest it, like, and actually apply it piece by piece. Cause we give you too much of the power. Like you ain't gonna use it. Cause like we ain't just like here for entertainment. So we got a lot more coming. Like it's nonstop.
We live it.
You know, whoever see this video or this content, like, you will be inspired, cause that's what we do.
That's what we do.
I'm Low.
I'm Key.
And it's low key.
All right, guys. Like,
comment,
and subscribe.
There you go.
All right. Bye.